In the summer of 356 BC, beneath the marble skies of Macedon, a child was born who would one day make the earth tremble. His name was Alexander. On the night he came into the world, the temple of Artemis at Ephesus burned to the ground, a sign, the priests said, that a fire greater than any temple had been born. Alexander's father was King Philip II, a warrior who united the fierce tribes of Macedon. His mother, Olympias, was a priestess of mystery and dreams. She told her son that he was not born of Philip, but of Zeus himself, that lightning had touched her womb. And Alexander believed her. As a boy, he tamed the wild stallion Bucephalus when no grown man could. When the horse finally obeyed, his father wept with pride and said, "My son, seek kingdoms equal to yourself, for Macedonia is too small for you." He was taught by none other than Aristotle, the greatest mind of Greece. The philosopher taught him that reason was divine, that virtue was man's greatest armor, and that the earth was vast, waiting for those brave enough to know it. But Alexander's heart beat faster than philosophy could restrain. When his father was murdered, Alexander was only 20, but he moved like a storm. Within months, he crushed rebellion, secured the Macedonian throne, and turned his gaze east, toward the Persian Empire, the greatest the world had ever seen. "There is nothing impossible to him who will try," he told his generals as he crossed the Hellespont with 40,000 men. He cast a spear into the soil of Asia and declared it conquered ground. At the river Granicus, he charged through a storm of arrows, leading his cavalry in person. A Persian axe split his helmet. Blood ran down his face, but he fought on. By nightfall, the Persians were shattered. His men called him the son of Ares. Then came Isis. Darius III, king of Persia, brought an army twice Alexander's size. Yet Alexander struck like lightning. He led the companion cavalry in a wedge formation straight at Darius himself. The great king fled his chariot in terror, leaving his mother, wife, and daughters behind. Alexander treated them with honor, saying, "You shall have no cause to fear. I wage war not against women, but against your king." From there, he marched south, and the world bent before him. In Egypt, the priests crowned him pharaoh. At the temple of Ammon at Siwa, they greeted him as son of Zeus-Ammon. When his companions asked what had been said, he only smiled. "You will hear nothing from me, but you shall see gods honor me." He founded the city of Alexandria, declaring it a beacon for eternity. He ordered its streets laid out like a grid, so that, as he said, wisdom may flow as the Nile flows. Then came Gaugamela, the battle that broke an empire. Darius returned with an army of 1,000,000 Persians, Scythians, Babylonians, and Indians, all arrayed against one man's dream. Alexander rode along his lines shouting, "Remember, men, it is not the number of enemies that brings victory, but the courage of the few." When the fighting began, he feigned retreat, drew the Persians out, and cut through their center like a thunderbolt. Once more, Darius fled. That night, the world changed hands. Babylon opened its gates. Persepolis burned, a city set aflame by its conqueror. Yet as the palace burned, Alexander wept. "This is what it is to destroy what once inspired you," he murmured, watching the jewels melt in the firelight. But conquest had become a hunger. Beyond Persia lay the edge of the world. He marched east through deserts and mountains, chasing the horizon itself. In Bactria he met Roxana, the woman he would love and marry beneath the stars. In India, he faced the mighty King Porus at the river Hydaspes. The sky thundered and the rain turned the earth to blood. Alexander's horse, Bucephalus, was struck down in battle. The king buried him with his own hands and founded a city in his name. When he finally met Porus face to face, he asked, "How should I treat you?" Porus answered, "Like a king." Alexander smiled and said, "So you shall be." He had reached the edge of the known world, yet his soldiers, exhausted, wounded, longing for home, refused to go further. At the banks of the Hydaspes, Alexander stood before them and said, "If I were not Alexander, I would wish to be among you." He turned back, his dream unfinished. Years later, in Babylon, at just 32, Alexander fell ill after a banquet. For 12 days he lingered between life and legend. When his generals asked, "To whom do you leave your empire?" he whispered, "To the strongest." And then, silence. They say no man ruled after him, only his shadow. His generals carved the empire apart, yet the world he reshaped would never be the same. Greek cities rose in Egypt, Syria, and Asia. Trade, art, and learning spread from the Mediterranean to the Indus. Even Rome would later call him the model of kings. In the words of Plutarch, Alexander's body may have perished, but his spirit, his drive to see what lies beyond, still lives in those who dream too greatly. And so ends the tale of the boy who believed he was a god, and in doing so, conquered everything mortal men could touch. The fire that began in Macedon still burns, in the hearts of those who dare to see the edge of the world, and keep walking.